October 19th, and the Yankees win Game 4 in Cleveland to go up 3-1 on the series. It was a thriller, and I am excited to talk about it here on Talkin' Yanks.
Talkin' Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Oh, shoes off.
Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks.
Talkin' Yanks with old John Boy.
And Jake.
I did. I'm wearing shorts.
Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. We got BBD producing in the corner. Game 4 just wrapped up. It was awesome. It was just as awesome as Game 3, but if you're a Yankee fan, it was more awesome because they won. Now they have a 3-1 lead in the series. They can end the series tomorrow with Cole on the bump. We're going to talk all about the game. Jakey's going to burn it and might just relive it and bask in the glory because this is the emotion that I haven't had yet as a Yankee fan in the postseason because the Royal Series didn't give us this. No. And games 1 and 2 wins didn't give us this. And I've been hunting and searching for this. And now we've got it. And I'm like, my adrenaline's pumping, Jake. I'm so excited.
James Davis, everyone tuning in. Let's go. Let's go. It makes yesterday all the worthwhile. It was awesome. It was intense. It was scary. We kind of told you, whether it's pregame show or stream or whatever, between where the bullpens are at, where the starters were at, we needed the offense to go. They went early. They went in the middle. They went at the end when we needed it. So, I know there's been some questions about the Yankees offense, and in the last 2 nights, I think they've answered that. I think the questions have gone towards the pitching in a 7-game set. But, man, the Yankees are up 3-1 on the Guardians. Last night was a weird one. If I told you coming in the series we're going to be up 3-1, and we had Rodon and Cole lined up, after Rodon had a good start, asterisk, you'd be pretty hyped for that. So, man, that should have been some emotions you probably haven't felt before. Because even like 2017's illegal. The DJ homer for a second in 2019, but it tied the game. So this Yankees team is 1 win away from going to the World Series, and they've shown they can do everything in a playoff baseball game now.
That game has so much to it. I can't wait to dive into it, but I'm especially excited for your burn.
Let's do it.
It's going to be a good one. I might take notes.
A massive Game 4 in Cleveland to see who is the king of the heel between Luis and Gavin Newsom-Williams, who would become the governor of Cleveland with a big start. Top 1, S-O-T-O, Soto. 2-run homer into the seats. Yanks in front. J-Ram sack fly makes it 2-1 after 1. Shall we shag now or shall we shag later? Austin Powers a solo shot. It's 3-1 Yanks. Heel gets nailered by Josh. He finished Forning's pitch, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks. It's 3-2 after 3. It stay that way into the 6th. Hit the music. Giancarlo! Let the rhythm take you over, Giancarlo. Tequiero, moonshot homers. It's 6-2 Yankees, but these guard dogs are hungry. J-Ram and Naylor, they're eating. They both double, and they even wash it down with some fries. And it's tied up at 6s in the 8th. Anthony! Cleveland fans get even more pissed at all the Italian fans in the stands as Rizzo and Volpe single. Roki, no! E6. It's getting cold in Cleveland as Gleyber gets 2 icy. No Christmas come early for Noel and the boys. Heel to Hill to Cousins to Holmes to Leiter Jr. to Tommy Tight Pants. Yankees take Game 4 in Cleveland 8-6. They take a 3-1 lead in the series. Spit in my mouth. Let's go Yanks.
Wow, powerful. Powerful. I'm going to be honest. I forgot about the Soto homer to open the game until you said it.
But you haven't forgot about Tommy John. I wear Tommy John, and you should too. They're the most comfortable underwear in the game. You can do anything in your Tommy Johns with their 2 to 3 time cooler fabric. You needed that tonight. My God. 8th inning, everyone was sweating. Joe's McFly was dripping sweat tonight. And the cooler Tommy Johns could help get you through it. Shop Tommy John right now for huge fall savings. Get 25% off your first order at TommyJohn.com/Yanks. 25% off at TommyJohn.com/Yanks. Click the link in the description.
Oh, Jake. It's
a lot to cover.
There's a lot to cover. I mean, there's a lot to cover. What I wanted to do is just go through the box score real quick because it's very fun to look at. Gleyber had 2 hits. He went 2 for 5. Soto had a homer and a walk. Judge had a hit and a walk. Jazz, he had a bunt. Stanton, hit, homer, 3 RBIs. Rizzo, 2 hits. Volpe, 2 hits. Wells, hit. It was a homer. Verdugo, RBI and a walk. Some of the postseason numbers now are really fun to look at. Gleyber Torres, Beebs is put on the screen. Gleyber Torres, 281 average in the postseason, 838 OPS. Juan Soto, 286 batting average, 953 OPS. Good. Judge was at 800. It comes down today. Jazz, not good. Wells, not good, but he got a hit. But look at Stanton, 300 batting average. Look at Rizzo, 455 batting average, 1 dot. Look at Anthony Volpe, 320 batting average, 845 OPS. That is really cool. Really cool. Like, so happy for the Anthonys and Gleyber and Stanton and Soto. Like, it is awesome. But this game had a lot to talk about, man. It had so much to talk about. We covered the pitching path to victory on the pregame show, and we were like, it's a mess, dude. It's an absolute mess. Because they're not going to really use Weaver. Clay they shouldn't use for long. I think probably shouldn't use him, but they might have to. I thought they needed to get more out of Tim Hill. They only used him for 1. And then you're light there. Like, then you don't have much.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and Tim Hill, technically his 4th time in 5 days pitching today, although he only threw 4 pitches, and he does throw underarm 88, so if there's a guy. But, yeah, and against all the Guardians lefties, that's definitely something Boone, in hindsight, probably maybe would have hunted more there, but he also did 1 inning, 17 pitches, clean-ish, and, like, it was the heart of their lineup that I don't know. And they kick it to Tim, or they go from Tim Hill to Jake Cousins, who we haven't seen in a while. And Jake Cousins looks good. He technically strikes out the side the next inning. Jimenez hits a single, but he strikes out Thomas, Brennan, and Naylor. And this is probably, I think if Boone got to do this again, but it's a righty and Thomas that I get it. I get the decision, and you're hunting for bullpen. The only problem where the extension gets tough, Jake Cousins then comes in for a 2nd inning, and this Jake Cousins he's pitched in 1 real game since he's been hurt, and he walks Rocchio, and then Quan gets a single off of him that Holmes comes in to follow that with 2 base runners. Both those runners score, so it's funny. Like, in my head, Cousins kind of looked good today, but his line looks bad, but it's because he came out for the 2nd inning. And then, yeah, man, I mean, you want to talk about, our guy Aaron Boone, kind of in his low moments has told us when you guys manage the Yankees, you can do what you want. We'll see. Again, still young. He's looking at his bullpen, and here's Mark Leiter Jr. just added to the roster. Or Tim Meza, who was picked off waivers at the end of the year because he was pitching very poorly.
Yeah.
You want to go to the righty, who you traded for but got rocked around, but is better against lefties, or Tim Meza, who, I mean, he's kind of like a overarm Tim Hill, just without the sustained success, and looked bad the other night. He goes to Leiter, and Leiter kind of gets it done.
In a scary way, but Leiter did get it done. That error
Scary way.
hurts them. The fly ball to the left was crazy. But yeah, a lot of people are knocking Boone's choices, and I don't think they have the choices on a paper in front of them.
The only one we got loud about was Canely coming in earlier in the 8th.
I would have had Canely come
tough.
in at the end of the 8th. When they intentionally walked J-Ram and Naylor was up, I would have used Canely there.
Because it felt like the game was in the balance.
Yeah, I would have used Canely there. And just to address this once, and then we're going to move forward with all the good stuff to talk about, because our live chat was all about it. People wondering why Stroman wasn't used. If people are genuinely wondering why Stroman wasn't used, Stroman's on the roster as a long man if the Yanks are up by 6 or down by 4 to just eat innings.
We're going to the
crazy
10th.
extras.
Stroman versus lefties is something in a close game you absolutely want to avoid. In his last 13 games, 13 games, lefties were hitting 373 with a 417 on base and a 522 slugging. Stroman is not coming into a game in the game's in the balance situation. He's on the roster to eat innings in blowout wins and losses. So he wasn't an option tonight. Against this lineup, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point you're feeding trolls. So
But there's people that are genuinely wondering. Like in our chat, I see people that are in here and subscribe to the YouTube and like,
yeah,
I got messages and replies.
yeah, I
from
got a
people
text or two
recognize.
from Yankees fans. Like, there's people that are wondering. That's his role.
we were another inning away
Worth
from
addressing.
seeing him, I think.
And extras, but
Yes.
but in the 4-run lead or 2-run lead, it's not his role.
No, and that's why they have relievers.
Yes. Yeah. And the relievers aren't great. We wanted more relievers.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Leiter Jr. was supposed to be part of their deadline that we started talking ourselves into, and the strikeout numbers and bad luck, and he did not click with the Yanks during the regular season. He gave, we were told he was a moxie guy and he wasn't going to be scared of the city, and his daddy played for the Yankees, his uncle played for the Yankees, his cousin, shortstop, right? Did I do that wrong? Or no? He was playing. Didn't he grow up with someone, or he was playing against someone else?
Well, his cousin Leiter, the pitcher, and Volpe went to high
Yes,
school.
they played against each other. He went. Yes, thank you.
There's that Rangers reunion series.
That he got thrown into a tight spot tonight, and he more or less did his job.
Yes. One bad exchange between him and Rizzo.
Yeah.
And some crazy scary pitches.
Yeah.
But did his job. Oh. This was a funky one. Showing the play right now where he tries to flip it to Riz and handcuffs him. And the tying run scores.
Yeah. Yeah, if you I would love to even play that one for Boone, because I don't even know. In hindsight, if you're Leiter and you get to that moment, which, okay, at first you're an athlete trying to make a play, so you knock it down, it rolls to your side, you run to the first baseline, you pick it up. I guess in theory you could toss it with a little more loft. That's really hard to do when you're going full speed. I mean, the play is almost just like put it into Rizzo's chest and hope he hugs it. It ends up going through Rizzo's 5-hole, and it looked like it could be worst case situation.
We got a badass Stan quote.
Obviously.
Giancarlo Stanton was asked about the feeling of being one win away from the World Series. Feels like nothing until we get it done. As far as I'm concerned, we haven't done nothing. We'll enjoy this for now, but we got to get it done tomorrow. On to the next. That guy is born to be a New York Yankee, and he is she just like shovel this into my mouth. This is what I want an athlete to be. This is what I want all of them to be and say and do. He's the best. It's that Kobe quote, job's not finished.
It ain't.
Damn. All right. What other big talking points do we have to get in?
We should probably talk about Luis Hill.
Yeah. Luis Hill, I thought that was a fine first playoff game on 19 days rest on the road.
Yeah.
You know, if he comes up and absolutely shoves, it's amazing. There's also a chance that, you know, we've seen these young rookie starters that we've faced other places and they kind of like, you know, come up empty and not even get deep. So he breezed through the bottom of the order that one time. Top of the order's tough. He couldn't get that fastball down. Yeah. His slider was not there. It was not sweepy. It was more that down slider, not that sweepy slider that he had at the end of the year.
It was different than his fastball. It wasn't a great slider. He ended up throwing a couple decent changeups by the end. And yeah, he grinded a little bit. I mean, he starts out the game walk double, that it's second and third, and it was first inning heel trying to find the zone. So the fact he works out of that with only giving up one run is good. And then, yeah, that second run is actually insane because Quan steals second, which Wells bobbled it. He still threw it, which normally if you see a catcher bobble a ball, they eat it because they're like how bang plays are at second base on a stolen base. If you bobble it, you're not going to throw it. He still threw it, which kind of had all us like, what? And it wasn't super close, but I think if Wells gets that clean, it could have been a tight play at second. And then Naylor, with 2 strikes, throws his bat at a pitch that looked like an old school intentional walk. Like it was deep in the right-handed hitter's batter's box, and somehow he gets on it, slaps it the other way. So, yeah, I mean, considering all the starts this postseason and a lot of starters are more or less 2 times through, they're hunting for that 5th inning or, you know, they're somewhere in the 4s. That's what we got from Heel, and it's obviously not the A+ on the report card, but Heel was one of the biggest concerns coming into this game, and he did his job. He
ate just enough innings because if they needed one more inning out of the pen, yeah. I don't. What do you do?
Hey, and maybe that's his last inning, that 4th inning, 1, 2, 3 Hedges with the first pitch bunt.
That was crazy with 1 out. Look at this. I know Beebs just showed it, but like the visual of where that pitch, the final one is, it's so sane. Yeah, I don't really blame him for that. It's the steal that you gotta curb with this team, but is what it is. Okay. Tim Hill comes out and he gets the job done.
Yep. Heart of the order. Quan, Fry, J-Ram, Naylor.
What are the other moments? They finally get to Cade Smith, who had looked pretty unbeatable against them. Stan comes up huge again.
Yes and no. I know Cade Smith had a really good year. So have a lot of relievers. But, dude, I mean, some of his fastballs in the previous games were like, yo.
Yeah, you wanted him to hit him.
Soto and Judge fouled him straight back.
But it was, yeah, but
thank God G gets him.
Yeah. He had 2.2 hitless.
Yeah.
With no walks either before that. And they get to him. That was awesome. And Stan's just a beast. I didn't think they were going to pitch to him. I think they were trying to throw high fastballs like out of the zone because they threw 4 in a row.
It's insane. 4 fastballs, 93, 94, 94, 94.
We skipped the Wells homer. That was awesome.
Good for him, man. Slid down the lineup. You know, this is something we've talked about that throughout the season. I still don't think analytics can realize, but, you know, sliding a guy down the lineup is okay. Takes the pressure off a little bit. Reset. Like even if you've played in a game at the like high little league level, if you're batting 1 through 4, it feels different than hitting 5 through 9. Like it just does. So good for him. And then, you know, I think he goes quiet the rest of the game in a tough Class A at bat that got scary. But hey, and we needed every run today.
Hunter Gaddis had another. He breezed through him. in that 8th inning.
He had an electric inning.
Yeah.
He had a pissed off inning.
I feel like he threw more change-ups and sliders than he had in the past. And he looked pretty good.
Judge's at bat, in hindsight, was better than I remembered because it was 9 pitches. But Judge had 2 to hit there. Jazz, I mean, I don't know if we're doing any.
Yeah, that's we got to talk Jazz. Then we'll move on to top players.
Sure.
Jazz can't play tomorrow, in my opinion. I know he probably will, but he really can't. He looks so absolutely lost. Like, so absolutely befuddled. And sometimes he's swinging really huge, and other times he's just waving at a pitch.
Yeah.
And give Oswaldo a game, dude. Oswaldo hits well in Cleveland. He homered in the last postseason there. Just give him a game.
Do you think they will?
No. Well, I think yesterday I said this, and you were like, they're not going to. And I knew with all my heart they were not going to. 10% of me thinks they might. Just because this was like, he got pitches in the zone. And you saw with Clase, it came up where they pitched around Judge to get to him, just like you had said, and put Rizzo at cleanup, and then put Oswaldo, who's a switch hitter, even though, maybe Cleveland doesn't know that he's not going to actually hit from the right side, and it makes them change some of their decisions because he's switch. They don't know that.
Nobody knows.
They don't know that we want Canely to face lefties. They keep putting lefties in for Canely when he's our lefty specialist. Like, they haven't figured that scouting out. So, but I think, 10% of me thinks it might happen, but that's not a lot, obviously. It's 10 out of 100.
It's a chance.
I think for defense, for Jazz's mental state, you can't have him 4. I think they slide him down with Wells. I mean, even Wells to 6, Jazz to 8 or whatever, have Rizzo 5 or 4. Rizzo's just hitting. He's 1-dotting this postseason. Obviously a small sample, but it's all a small sample. But yeah, man, hey, if the 9th inning or the 10th inning went the wrong way tonight, like it did last night, 24 hours ago, the Yankees' last at-bat in the 9th inning, and I harped on this on the pregame show, and I harped on this in last night's episode, it was Jazz Chisholm with the bases loaded. That was the last out. We left Stanton on deck in the 9th. That, with how Jazz has been hitting, it's either needs to be Judge Stanton back-to-back, and if you really don't believe in it, then you can have Rizzo there, but you can't have Jazz there.
Yeah, I agree. You can't. And I'm fine with them trying it because he did get pitches in the zone.
Right.
And it could have helped him. It didn't. So you have to pull out right now and change that up. I'm fine moving Rizzo up, but I also really love Rizzo at the bottom. Look what the bottom did there. It helped everyone out. And he's just going to left with the ball. Like, Rizzo's 2 strikes. He just went to left. He got 2 hits today. Just throwing it out there. It's awesome. So maybe they slide him up. Who's pitching for them tomorrow? It's going to be
I think Bybee.
Okay.
That'd be short rest, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, his last start was because it was him versus Cole, and Rodon's starting tomorrow,
Yes.
but he only threw 36 pitches, so
yeah.
short rest, but not a full outing previously.
Yeah. My math on doing days rest has been off all playoffs.
And by the way, that was Class A pitching back-to-back. That was after tonight. Class A pitching back-to-back. Gaddis pitching back-to-back. Cade Smith, Tim Herron pitching back-to-back. Morgan pitched back-to-back.
Yeah, he's actually been really
and
good.
he has been effective.
He's been really effective.
So, I don't know. There are four horsemen in the bullpen. Would be their 3rd night in a row. And Morgan, who outside of that crew has been their most feared reliever, outside of Pedro Avila, who's getting loose in the 9th. Tomorrow's the night to get it done.
Tomorrow, and guess what? There's one recipe. Cole for 7. Rodon for 7.
Even better.
Like, he can't. Everyone's gone.
Yeah. Stroman?
Blow it open.
Wrote on to Stroman. Wouldn't be bad.
Give him the leash. Yeah, Leiter can go again, probably.
Weaver should be available again.
Weaver available. He was getting loose, but on his own terms in the bullpen. Didn't look like he was
Let's
opening
make
up.
it not use the closers. Because
Trying to.
Clay Holmes is out tomorrow.
as you're seeing, the more you see relievers, the more you get hits. Like what? That's been this whole series.
Yeah, but if it's a two-run lead in the ninth tomorrow, you have to use.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm just telling the
The
offense.
save's there to get. You get
Telling
it.
the
You'll
offense
have
to
days.
do it. And like, Heels, he only went so many today because he's heel. If it's Rodani and he's grooving, he's going to stay in that game.
I mean, Canley's probably out tomorrow. Clay's probably out tomorrow. It's going to be another interesting one.
Yeah, Kane through 18. Leiter through
26 the day
24. Clay's out. Weaver's available for one, probably. But I also, you need to hope it's a good lane because they're really on him.
Leiter, Cousins.
Hill's available. He threw 4, then 17, but I think he's available.
Yeah, it's 4 out of 5 days. I think Tim Hill will be available because he's Tim Hill.
Yeah, but like we're saying, I think Canley and Clay are out.
Yeah.
And you have 4 that and they're all getting hit. It's nuts, man. Okay, we want to do stars of the game?
Stars of the game are brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. Baseball, their words, baseball's coming down the final stretch if you had no clue listening to this. Same game parlays, live betting to odds boost. The fellas did pretty good at the DK Sportsbook tonight. Tune into the pregame show. You might get some tasty tidbits on there. A certain person homering first inning. And right now, if you bet $5, you will instantly get $200 in bonus bets when you use code Yanks. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code Yanks. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Yanks only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Okay. I think... Methinks I have someone.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I actually think
There's one lock, right?
I have 2 locks. And I'll tell you why I actually have one over the other. I lean Juan Soto.
Really?
Jim, you're what to watch for coming into this game. First inning,
Yeah.
you had to get to him. You had to get to him. And he's the guy that did.
I'm not gonna disagree with you. Because you needed early runs, dude. Imagine if they have no runs and Heel has that first inning. Someone's getting up.
Yes. So that's where I think there's going to be another big fella that gets in the mix in a second. But I think Soto, I know I had a little bit the same when I was writing the burn. Like, oh my God, Juan Soto first inning homer. That was literally, as we record this, that was 4.5 hours ago.
God damn it.
But man, they literally had to do that off of Gavin Williams.
I'm going to go with Stanton.
That's the other one.
I'm going to go Stanton.
That's the other one. Dude, another cool home run. I know all home runs are kind of cool.
No, that was cool.
That was
Because
a
he just stood and
moonshot.
watched, dude. Oh, speaking of, I read the quote earlier. Let's hear Stan say it.
Okay.
Because I want to hear him say it. It's a long video, so bear with me because I might have to find the spot.
I think it's huge just because it was 0-2. I mean, I got to put the ball in play. Sorry, 1-2. In that scenario, just to get one run in at least. So that was the idea: get the ball in the air far enough for a sac fly.
Aaron Boone said that there's like a reverence for you within the clubhouse. Just how do you see your leadership role?
I'm here for everybody. I mean, any bit of information, anything to discuss. I mean, it's it's an interesting time where you need to have the conversations and know the weight of everything that goes into these games. So, but you don't always have those. It's kind of like, oh, we know, yada yada. But you got to have those discussions and talk everyone through it. Whether you've been there before, or whether you haven't, first time through.
What do you think of the job he did?
It's unreal. It's unreal. That's a very tough spot to be in, and he was.
These 2 games back to back, all of the emotion.
Dug out like they did last night.
You have it, Beebs? Nice.
Giancarlo, this is the closest this team has been to the World Series in a number of years. What does that feel like?
Feels like nothing till we get it done. As far as I'm concerned, we haven't done nothing. We enjoy this for now, but we got to get it done tomorrow and on to the next.
Awesome. I'm gonna put my vote out for Leiter for third star of the game.
Okay.
He has, besides Heel, he has the most outs. He wasn't on the roster to start the day. He was just a guy chilling like Grisham with a hoodie on. Grisham's on the roster, but, you get the vibes, very couch vibes. And, man, I guess they didn't give that an error. How do you get an earned run? They ruled that a hit?
Guessing they called that infield single.
Crazy.
Infield single, then a throwing error.
And if that play's made, which it should be, he goes 2 innings pitched in the end of a very close game with 0 earned runs. But not expecting him to get it done. He could have come in and gotten 1 out and then got pulled. So he gave him 1.2. So just my vote, because it's an unexpected. My other vote would be Volpe. So if you can choose between the two. Or make your own vote. Because it's 3-6.
It's 3-6. What Leiter Jr. did, the 2 outs are important. It feels rude to Canely, who, I don't know. I mean, Canely shuts the door. Volpe and Rizzo are interesting.
Anthony, we can count them as 1, the Anthonys.
I think you do 1 for the Anthonys.
That's fine. That's 3 stars. We have potentially.
The only thing I feel in a slightly odd spot about Gleyber Torres, bro.
Yep.
Gleyber, man. I mean, that hit in the 9th is massive. A 1-run game. It's completely different. Like, it almost went overlooked because it was like, after that happened, we turned into Yankee fans and were like, wait, Soto and Judge are coming up? Like, this could get ugly. Mm-hmm. It didn't. It stopped.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. So.
It's your 4.5 stars.
Those are all your stars of the game. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, it's a fun one. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.
Subscribe to the channel, please.
Please. Come on.
Helps us.